Hey, and welcome to The Blank Show. I'm Kirk Scarbrough, and we have an exciting show ahead. To get things started, let's go around the organization for our TFA Buzz.
We're the Alumni Affairs team here in New York, and this September we have 5 alumni opening district schools. We wanted to find a way to support them and engage alumni at the same time.
So we created an alumni book drive in which we asked alumni to donate books right off their bookshelves. Juan and I drove around an alumni bookmobile all over New York, through the Bronx, through Queens, through Brooklyn, and met alumni, and they gave us their books for us to give to alumni principals.
Now we're going to deliver the books to the 5 new school leaders to help them build their libraries. We're really excited about fostering a relationship between the 5 new school leaders and new school leaders in general and Teach for America New York alumni.
Hey TFA friends, I wanted to tell you about some really exciting work that we're doing with 100K and 10, which is a multi-sector network that's focused on increasing the number of STEM teachers, retaining them for the long term, and changing policy, telling the story, and funding STEM education broadly. 100K and 10 is committed to creating 100,000 STEM teachers in the next 10 years, and TFA has been a major part of this. We recently became a part of 100K and 10's joint recruitment campaign, which is focused on creating the mindset that teaching is a STEM career. And as part of that, there is a new website and new campaign that's coming out called Blow Minds Teach STEM. And that should be coming out in the fall, and you should find more information about it soon. Thank you so much.
Here in Los Angeles, we noticed that there was a lack of dialogue around Asian American and Pacific Islander identities and issues that face our communities. So as a result, we decided that in order to celebrate AAPI Heritage Month, we were going to spur that dialogue along. So we created our own framework in order to get the conversation going. We touched on our myth, our truth, our fight, and our hope.
Thank you to everyone who submitted to the TFA Buzz. When Spencer Marzook, a 2011 Alabama Corps member, started teaching his first week in Hayneville, Alabama, he quickly realized that his students were lacking a substantial amount of experiential knowledge due to a lack of exposure. He created the Mission Possible program, which this year brought 28 students from rural Alabama to New York City to help expose them to new opportunities, influential leaders, and exciting experiences. I had the chance to meet up with the group while they were in town. Let's see how their trip's going.
So we're here in New York with an initiative that I started called Mission Possible. And the idea of the initiative is really it's our way of trying to close the exposure gap and the opportunity gap that challenge our students on a daily basis.
It's a program where a teacher or adult take kids to New York so they can experience new things in the world.
What's happening behind me is we are mingling with different people in different career paths so we can see if we want to be what they are or anything else.
They have a mentor dinner, as you can see. They visit a number of companies and organizations. They visit Good Morning America, the New York Times, startup entrepreneurships of a cake shop. And through this experience, they're networking, they're learning about opportunities, learning about pathways to opportunities.
They are actually mingling with the Mission Possible students where they can get to know them and sit with them and eat and have conversation.
They are kind of just getting their stories, learning where they came from, what brought them to the point that they are at today, what helped them to get to that, and kind of just asking advice as to, being in middle school and in high school, what can I do at this point in my life to get to where you are, and kind of what steps do I need to take.
We get to meet new people, make a better network, and we just have fun while we're doing it.
And the idea is to create that relationship, and to top that relationship off when our students return, we partner with an ACT prep program to allow them to not only now leverage these relationships, but to help them gain the test prep they needed to accomplish their dreams and goals.
One of my biggest mentors that I liked Miss Jackie, and she was merging companies, and I never heard of that before, so now I learned something today. And then she told me what she do, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And from all these mentors, I go like different mentors, and I keep changing now since I want to be I go to this one, now I want to be that, and I go to the next one, now I want to be that. So, I mean, it's really opportunity to be anything you want to.
The pathways to opportunities are limited in rural communities. And in order to close the exposure gap, we've got to find a way to take kids beyond the borders of their counties so they can meet and learn about things that they probably didn't even know existed well beyond their region.
So taking them here to the city where there's just so much more going on and so much more potential in different career paths, they're able to see and actually be able to look at people who have done it and who are here and who are doing things that necessarily aren't available in Alabama.
This is my first time coming to New York, and it's very fun, and I like the city. I might come back.
At a young age, to be 14 years old, to meet these people, and not only them, like Robin Roberts and celebrities and just everything. It's big and awesome, and I think this is bigger than any vacation I went on, any Christmas present, anything. This is my new thing, biggest thing that happened to me in my life. I love it. I love it.
The opportunity gap and the exposure gap are one and the same, and being able to combine those two, if we can combine those two, I think we have a very, very great chance of creating opportunities for kids that were not there beforehand. And so I guess that's a little challenge to Teach for America, if that is, fellow Regents, kind of fellow core members, to just, take that initiative to seek those opportunities.
You can follow their journey on Twitter, #MPNYC14. Last month, the winners of the Education Innovation Award were announced. Among the recipients was Education Insight. I had the opportunity to follow George Dong, founder of Education Insight and a Chicago 2009 core member, to one of the schools his organization is partnering with. Heads up, there are insanely adorable students ahead. Take a look.
It was very blurry to see everything, and I sat at the back of the class and I couldn't see nothing. It get like a little blurry, and I can just only see a little white stuff. It looked small, but my teacher told me to sit at the front because I couldn't see the board.
Hi, my name is George Dong. I'm the founder of Education Insight. I was a 2009 Chicago core member. I saw so many students who couldn't see the board. And many of my students, they were mislabeled as learning disabled due to poor vision. And that was such a destruction to our kids' future. And then I went to China on a Fulbright scholarship, and I found out that the same thing was happening. Kids couldn't see the board, and their academic future was hindered by this easily solvable problem. So I got together with a few Teach for China core members, and we brought in optometrists to provide vision screening and then deliver eyeglasses to the kids who need them the most. Today in the US, we have 3.5 million kids who could not see the board due to poor vision, but yet on the other side, 46 states are already paying for eye care and eyeglasses through Medicaid. What Education Insight does is that we are simply bridging that gap.
We had a vision screening last year, which was our first year being open. And then we had it scheduled for this year as well. But just in the nick of time, we were connected with Education Insight, pretty much like heaven sent.
Our team members from University of Michigan Medical School, they work with optometrists, they work with this school to bring vision screenings, comprehensive eye examinations, and deliver eyeglasses to all the students here at the school.
So I'm currently a first-year medical student at the University of Michigan Medical School. The first screening that we did, we screened all of the students here who were present, and that was over 300 students.
I had to look at the big letters and then work my way down to the bottom to see the small letters, and it was very hard to see the small letters. Yeah, they gave me the spoon to make me not peek and cover my other eye right here. I seen a big letter, then when I went to the bottom rows, it kind of got hard for me to see.
This year, in this school, we served 400 students. Next year, we aim to serve 6,000 students in the city, and by the year of 2020, we would like to serve 1 million students in this country.
Okay, I'm about to go and deliver some glasses to the students here. And first stop, Mr. Hatt's classroom. How does it look? How does everything look?
Clear.
Clear? Yeah? Even though I'm no longer teaching, I feel like I'm still connected to the community and to what I've been able to do. I feel like it's building on something that I've done for the past 2 years. And I think it's really informed the way that I look at medicine and my future career.
They help me see better, and they help me do my work. I had got my glasses, and I didn't have to sit in the front anymore. I could sit anywhere in the classroom. I could see the board.
All right, want to try them on?
My hope for the students is that our future leaders of this country, they have everything they need in order to succeed in the classroom.
Make sure to tune in to the live streaming of the Innovation Awards next month. Matt and EVB join us for our Ask the CEO segment remotely from their offices in Minneapolis and Houston. Welcome.
Okay, the first question, Lisa, is from Brittany Toll in Oklahoma. Research and evolving knowledge indicates that birth through age 5 is an incredible time for human development. With that knowledge, how are we planning to evolve our work to tap into this significant time in a child's life?
Yeah, well, clearly I think this is a really important question. And particularly because I have my 3 boys and think a lot about this, Langston's 6 and Malcolm's 4 and Marshall's 2. And so I have given this a lot of thought, and clearly this is a massive national discussion, and there's just so much research to support how quality early childhood is so important. And I think there's just lots of things going on across the country, and we're doing, I just feel like our ECE work across the nation is just improving year after year. And in fact, Brittany, I've heard about the work that you all are doing in Oklahoma City at Institute in particular to really work on providing incredible content and teaching to our core members who are taking ECE. I know lots of regions are considering taking their work in this area to the next level. Indianapolis and Sacramento come to mind. I also know that there are real barriers that regions are working to help overcome in order to get into this space that I think we all agree is just so critical for us to do more work on. On the policy level, I've also, I know that we've taken a position on Strong Start for Children Act, and that's really important, and just doing more to ensure that we're doing the things that we know, or, kids who are this young need exposure to, which is early learning on vocabulary and reading and just the role of literacy and all of this. So I think there's a lot of good things to come, and think we should all just continue to do more to push on this initiative and ensure that we're doing the best that we can as we consider our own context. So that's my take on that. Matt, I'm going to ask you the next question here. And this question comes from Craig in New York City. And he asks, given our commitment to supporting teachers who want to stay in the classroom longer, how, if at all, will that impact our recruitment and or selection process?
That's a good question, Lisa and Craig. So maybe before I even answer it, just to say aloud, how many of our folks continue to stay on in the classroom now? About a third of all the folks who have ever been through Teach for America are in the classroom right now, and 85%, a little more than 85%, are either in the classroom or working full time in education or doing other work that's directly supporting kids and families in low-income communities. And I say that just to say I think the question of do we want to change the selection model to focus on people who are more likely to be teachers and therefore less likely to be other roles in education and other roles in the broader work and support of communities. That's a complicated one, and I don't think we're going to rush to that. We're starting out by asking ourselves, how can we support people who make the decision to teach more and help them be more effective? And how do we make sure that people see the path to teach on an ongoing basis as a good one, a strong one, a one where they can make an impact, and as one that should be the main first thought about what you're going to do after your first 2 years. And we'll take a look at the selection model later on after we've had a chance to make more progress on the rest of these. Elisa, next question is from Robert Carrion in the RGV. And Robert asks, what's some great news that you've recently heard or seen in your work?
That's a hard one because I feel like there's quite a few. I guess the first thing that comes to mind for me is the progress we've made in recruiting DACA Corps members. As many of you all may know, we were amongst the first national organizations to take an explicit position in supporting and recruiting DACA recipients into the organization as part of our workforce. And so I'm really proud of that. And last year we had 2 Corps members. Our goal for this year was 30, and then for 2015 to have 50. And we, in fact, will have 51 DACA Corps members this fall. And I just think it's awesome. And we are going to learn so much, already learning so much. And I'm excited that this summer we are bringing them together in July in Los Angeles for a conference for the Latino Summit. And they're going to sort of be integrated into that, but also have their own sort of DACA conference so we can create community and really ensure that we're supporting our Corps members adequately and doing everything we can to learn from them, because I think there's going to be so much learning. So that's my news. And Matt, how would you personally answer that question?
I thought you might say that. So, gosh, there are good things happening. The thing that's on my mind right now is having just been through the judging for the Social Innovation Award and the Suleiman Award and reviewing the Alumni Teaching Awards and most recently the Peter Jennings Award, though the recipient of that is not public yet. I've just gotten a chance to look at some really extraordinary folks. And on the teaching front, I got to call a couple folks who are winners, and honestly, there is just nothing that brings joy to my heart like getting to see the just most extraordinary teachers in the Teach for America community in a given year, and then get to talk to them directly on the phone and just hear the love for their kids spilling out over the lines onto the floor. And so that seeing that is food for the soul.
And I think it's amazing that we had the same experience in telling our recipients sort of the same reaction. It was really incredible. So
it is. It's as if they're all 5 of them are really, really good.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can hand it right back to you, Kirk. Thanks so much.
The mass is displaced from the equilibrium point.
Miss Cooper loves us to death, and I know I can see in her teaching, the way she teaches. She's so emotional about the topic.
So leading based on your gut, what does your gut tell you is the right thing to do?
I was sitting in her classroom the other day. I think I texted her afterwards and I was like, I'm pretty sure the next president is in your class because of what she's instilled in them.
If you have one viewpoint, I might offer you the other viewpoint just to kind of...
Some teachers just, they give you the work, you do it, you get a grade. But he gives you the work, he sits with you through it, after school, before school, during school, it doesn't matter. That's what's important to him.
He's really supportive, and she reminds us that we can get to where we're trying to go.
I'm going to ask you a question today. It's going to be our guiding question for the second half of class. What do our biases cost us?
She makes everything fun. She doesn't let you down. And when you're having a rough time, she just brings you up.
And that's our show. If you have story ideas for next month's episode, email internalcommunications@teachforamerica.org. Have a great week. Bye.